Paul Caddis, the season has finally come to an end. Not the end you were probably looking for against Boston, but I think the size of the crowd and the celebrations and the feeling around the stadium afterwards have put that all into some perspective, haven't they?
Yeah, they have, and I'm trying to almost see past the result today and look at the season as a whole. We're obviously disappointed we lost the game. We wanted to win the game. I think the first half we had the best chances. Then they come out the second half and got a goal pretty early, and I thought they managed the game out. By the way, they're a good team. They are a good team. You can tell that they get a lot of time together, and I wish them all the best. They deserve to be in the playoffs, and as I said, I wish them all the best. But yeah, just on us on a whole, I'm immensely proud to stand in front of the players and call them my players, and stand in front of these supporters and manage this football club. I'm extremely proud. The inner part of me, where I grew up at an academy at Celtic, and it's all about winning, and so the inner part of me is disappointed. We want to go one step further next year, and that's got to be the aim. As I said there when I addressed the crowd, we cannot stand still as a football club. There's no point of doing okay one season and then not so good the next, and then have a go the following year. We've got to keep moving forward, and that's what I'll strive for as manager.
Reading your programme notes before the game, you talked about the journey you've been on this season, but to see 4,000 in here, for me, was incredible.
Amazing. And I said it in my programme notes as well. It's. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but I'm not surprised. That's a praise to the support. The support has been unbelievable from the off. Yeah, there's been difficult times, and that's management. I understand that. I know I've only been a manager for a season, but I understand that comes part of the job. When you go to Tamworth and you lose, and you have to stand there and take criticism. That's fine. That's how it is. There's obviously at the start of the season, no one knew who I was, and there was a lot of worries about new manager coming into such a big club, and I think we've coped well. I've not done it on my own by all means. I've got a brilliant assistant manager first and foremost, who I speak to more than I speak to my wife and my kids, and constantly we're on the phone non-stop. So a huge gratitude to Runes. He's been a brilliant source of comfort for me. The backroom staff with Sean and James and Dan and Pat have been amazing for us. So I'm not one for looking for praise or anything like that. I think and I don't deserve just to get the praise. The praise has got to be on the group, it's got to be on the club, it's got to be on the board, it's got to be. So just together, collectively, we've got to try and move the club forward and back to a place where it deserves to be.
What have you enjoyed the most about this season?
Probably, it's difficult for me now, but when I look back, I know I've touched on that Tamworth one, where that was the lowest of the lows for me, and I genuinely, we made a lot of decisions after that, moved a lot of players on, but probably going from that to then turning up here and seeing that today, and knowing that I know we had to go and win 11-0, but let's be honest, there was not really much on the game. So to see 2,500 compared to 2,500 more fans compared to the last season when I came in. So yeah, I'm really proud of the players. I'm proud of the connection that we've managed as a group to repair. I said at my programme notes, as you touched on at the start of the question, that the club was broken. That's probably the best way to describe it. It was broke when I came in. I didn't know that at the time. The chairman didn't know that until we actually got our teeth into it. So you'd have to ask the board. But if the board knew from the start that the club was in such a mess, probably wouldn't have appointed me, because I was inexperienced. They'd probably look for somebody to try and pick the club up. And I'm really proud that I've played a small part in that. But the credit's all to the players and the supporters.
Obviously, you've got a core of the squad already signed up for next season. What happens now in terms of those players that we haven't heard about yet? Yeah,
so we'll sit down with the players next Thursday. It's likely going to be. We'll give them Tuesday off now that the season's finished, and it'll give myself and Runes more time to have a look at where we'll obviously know where we're going to be next year. We've got an idea. Weirdly, decisions won't particularly be made on the type of player or anything to do with ability. It's probably come down to financials. Players will want more money. We can't offer that at the moment, because this group we've got maybe 6 or 7 that are on kind of short-term loans and stuff like that. We've brought players in not from the off. So we've got to try and get as many as we possibly can. Whether we do that is completely not out my hands, because that's me as if I'm passing on responsibility, but there will be offers made, and there will be naturally that people want more money, people move on, people won't get offered more money from other clubs, and we're ready for that. We're ready to lose couple of big players. I don't want to put a downer on this afternoon, but there will be fans' favourites that will move on, and that won't be down to anything other than financials. It's not through we won't be letting people go that we know that have got a relationship with supporters. We know that can do well for us, and you see that there's majority of the players are we'd love to keep, but we're in a market where unfortunately we can't quite get there yet.
And from your perspective, did you get a holiday at any point?
I've not booked anything yet, to be honest. I probably will still be non-stop for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks. We'll probably, myself and Rins, will go around to all the games in Step 3. I think there's another week left of the Step 3 we'll watch. Listen, that's where we'll probably recruit from, because that's where we're at as a football club. But don't get too disheartened with that, because we've done really well with the recruitment that we've managed to bring in. You're defined as a manager on your recruitment. Tactics and all that's brilliant, but if you've not got good players, then it's the players that make the manager look good. So I'll get a holiday, I'm sure, but for the next couple of weeks we'll still be working. We'll still go and watch the playoff semi-finals in our league. We'll go and watch a couple of players we've got an eye on other clubs as well.
Paul, it's been a great season to see the club turn around, so thank you.
Thank you very much.